Sometimes when you set out to change the world, you have to start with some small things. So I do have a couple of things we're going to try with Launch over the next couple of days. We have these reusable cups, and what I'd like you each to do is to take your cup and make that your cup for the next day, next 2 days. You know, there's a bathroom, go wash it out, whatever you need to do. We do have some other reusable cups or recyclable cups, but just try it, because sometimes it's just changing the way you think. Number 2 is that we have a great company working with us called Wasteless Living, and they have all kinds of different compost and recycle different containers out there. So be careful before you toss something in to actually read the label, whether it's for something that can be recycled, something can be composted, that sort of thing. We've got great caterers that are going to work really hard to keep you happy and fed and nourished and ready to go. And I'd also like to tell you that everything we're doing this morning is being Ustreamed. So smile. So Launch only happens because of the hard work of an amazing team that I have the privilege of being able to work with. And I'd like to bring first the man that has been the lead for the search for our innovators. And it was a long search and lots of work, and lots of people participated. But Mr. Victor Friedberg, one of our co-founders.
Good morning, everybody. I've lost a little of my voice, none of my enthusiasm, I promise you, so bear with it a little bit. The launch process now, after 4 portfolios of development, is pretty set, and it's been working for us really well. So I thought I'd just sort of go through that really quickly for you, so you have a sense of how we all got here today. So we start with a challenge. We meet as a group and say, what's the next challenge that we want to tackle as a group? We did water first, we did health, energy. So in January, we all assembled and we thought about ideas, and we looked at it from various angles. What's a big global problem? What's a big global problem that needs systems change? What's a big global problem that we as Launch collectively can help solve, and at least through innovation, move the needle a bit? So we looked at our founding partners, certainly various perspectives there. You know, Nike has a focus on manufacturing and supply chain. You know, NASA for closed loop systems. State Department and USAID on how innovation can solve security and humanitarian issues. So we looked at it through all those different prisms, and waste was something that we really felt was right for us this year. So once we define that we're going for waste, we look at it and say, well, it's a very big subject. How do you find a way into that? So the next phase of Launch is we convene what we call a big think. And we look at it from a cross-sector perspective. We bring industry experts, specialists in all different areas of waste, sustainability experts, science and technology, policy, communications people. We bring them all together, and we'll do a moderated day at looking at the whole area and deciding where can Launch really make a difference. And so when we did that big think, and that was, I think, in February, we came up with 3 areas that we really wanted to explore. Waste to value was one. Second was designing for zero waste. And the third was an area of software data analytics for waste management. So now we have the waste challenge. And the next phase will move into, okay, now we have to find the innovators. So it's a multi-stream parallel process. First, we'll write the challenge, we'll publish the challenge, and that'll be part of our open innovation, open call process. So if you hear of the Launch Challenge, you'll be directed to the website. You can submit to the website. Then in parallel, we have a primary research team that basically scours blogs, the internet. We have a tool that we've designed that actually goes out, and we can put in keywords, we can put in different sectors, and it will bring us back possibilities for new innovations that are global. So that will go on. We did that from February through May, and we sourced probably 500 companies, programs, or platforms. And from that 500, 200 submitted to the Launch platform. So for Launch, we now had to consider 200 projects. That is a big task, and it's something that we brought a multidisciplinary group again with this sort of idea of collaborative genius. So that group of vetting teams was everyone from government, from industry, from science and technology, from policy, and from those 200, we went through a process of choosing the 10 that we had come, the 9 that we will present to you today. So we are super excited to present these 9 over the next 2 days. I think we're excited about the potential for them to create real change in the world, to scale up, and to have impact. Ultimately, those are the qualities that we value the most. So with that, let's begin.
Okay, 9 innovators, 9 great ideas. However, to get them here today, we have to get them launch ready. So I'd like to introduce to you the man that makes it happen, one of our co-founders, Mr. Todd Kozane.
Thanks, Diane. We spend probably a month working with people who understand a problem very deeply and have actually designed a solution that will address it in a way that a large group of people who think about these problems very deeply have been convinced, if scaled, will actually have a really big impact on the future of humanity, especially in response to the challenge. Oftentimes when you're in the middle of it, and you have been in the middle of it for sometimes over a decade, it's hard to explain that in a pretty concise period of time to a group of people that are willing to help you and take it a level. What we're going to do over the course of this morning is each innovator is going to take approximately a 10-minute slot to really present what their idea actually is and try to give you a biggest overview. A lot of detail is omitted, and it's omitted purposefully for you to be able to have a large, high-level vision of what it is that they're actually going to do. We're there going to take a few minutes of moderated questions whereby a moderator will ask specific questions to try to pull additional detail out. Following that, we will have questions from you, the council, directed to the innovator. Now, the reason that we put the questions in the large forum was to avoid the duplications of questions that might happen multiple times in the different sessions. So we'll ask you to direct your questions to questions that you think everybody in the room will know, not a question that you specifically wants to know and it might only be asked once in the question. Remember that we go from here to 5 different tables where you will spend a half an hour with each innovator in smaller group sessions. So the purpose of this question session is really to gain a clarification and an understanding of those questions and those areas of the innovations, again, that you think everybody will be interested in. So